This broadcast is part of the IC Robots Radio Network. Visit icrobots.com for this and many other nerd/nostalgia-related podcasts. You won't be sorry for long.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire.
I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Welcome to the Toys R Us Report, recorded live from inside the Patron Cellular Undersea Base 0001, 6.5 miles below the ocean surface. Some people front and say that he can't fly, but he's been known to do the impossible like Broadway Joe. He's your host, IC Robots.
If you're looking for me, you better check under the sea. It is your dude, IC Robots, and I am not a hero, but I do sacrifice a bit of my week each and every week to make your week a bit less week. And this week, it is going to get so much less week. We got a million billion fun things ahead of us. But before we get there, we got like an oldie but a goodie from MC Kate, Makes the Mic Disintegrate. Let me see if I can find it here on the drive. I got it. I don't know the file name. I apologize. All right, hold it now. Hit it.
You are listening to the Toys R Us Report. I blast off lyrics like I'm Tom Madden with Excalibur, poking mad holes in my challenger. I'm eating a chunk of Swiss cheese, cause I'm a wild freestyler, wild like Gene Wilder. We're far from commercial, no need for no rehearsal. We'll hit you from all angles, then form a circle. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. You are listening to the Toys R Us Report.
Big up to MC Kate, big up to Iceberg 13 for putting it together, and a big up for Inspector Deck for writing that rhyme. Inspector Deck is like my favorite member of the Wu-Tang. This is me, IC Robots, and I guess I've been ruminating on that call that I got last week from Toys R Us Scotland.
Dude, that's a really big deal. You don't seem to be taking it very seriously. They are totally going to sue you.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna sue me. They're probably trying to scare me, right?
Have you called a lawyer?
No, I haven't called a lawyer yet.
Have you even called that dude back yet?
No, I haven't called dude back yet.
Man, you need to get on that.
Yeah, I know, I need to get on it. I don't know, I don't like confrontation.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know, I'll think of something.
That might work for a lot of things, but I don't think it works for legal deals. You need to call them and then you need to think about getting a lawyer.
But lawyers cost like $1 million, dude. I don't have like $1 million.
I know it costs a lot, but you should do it soon. This could get really serious.
Yeah, I know this could get serious, but I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that like if I don't call them back and I just kind of ignore the whole thing, then maybe it'll just go away. I don't know. Like that seems to work for some things sometimes.
No, that's stupid. It never works for anything ever. Quit being lazy.
I'm not being lazy. I'm a little nervous.
Do you want me to call them for you? I work on the show too. They will probably talk to me.
No, I don't need you to call for me. I can handle it.
Well, if you can handle it, you need to go ahead and handle it. I don't think you know that this is a big deal. Call them today as soon as we are done here.
Fine, I will call them today as soon as we are done here. I do definitely appreciate you, I don't know, man, you're looking out for me, it's good. But I don't know, I just think this is gonna blow over, you know? We don't even know that this is legit. I kind of think it is, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. Emily, thanks for being on the air. I appreciate that. I know it's not your favoriteest thing in the world. What else? What else is going on? Dig this. The other day I was up there on the surface. You know, I was on the Earth base, and our house has a school right near it, and they have like basketball courts and stuff, and people hoop it up. You know, the Warriors are in the finals or whatever, so Hoop Mania is going wild up there in Santa Rosa. But anyway, I was walking the dog. You know, I was walking the dog through the school, and basketball came rolling up near me, right? Like somebody missed a shot, and it got away. So I skedoodled over, and I grabbed it, and I threw like a pretty good bounce pass to this dude. I threw it kind of like this overhead bounce pass, hit him right in the chest with one bounce. I was pretty pleased with that right there. I'm like, your dude still got it. I used to be into hooping back in the day. I've never been like a hoop star, but I did think it was fun to play. And I was walking away, and one of the dudes, and these were like maybe like freshmen in high school. I'm thinking maybe like sophomores. You know, they were like small, kind of skinny, sort of slight dudes. And one of the dudes was like, "Hey, do you want to play for a minute? We had a dude not show up, and we were gonna do some 2-on-2." And I said, "You know, I don't want to." I said this to myself. I do not want to. But I said I also do not want to be the kind of dude who says no when challenged by some punk kid. So I said, "Yeah, I can. I got like 5 or 10 minutes." So I kind of like looped the dog's leash around the basketball pole, and I started playing with these dudes for a minute. We were doing like a small 2-on-2 kind of deal. I was with the shorter of the two kids. I was probably like the second tallest. One of these kids was a bit bigger than I thought when I got over there, and I got paired up with him. And I have not actually like hooped in years. I've shot around, I've goofed around, but I haven't like hooped in a long time. And I got to admit, I was impressed with my performance for the day. I blocked a shot on a dude younger than me. I put up a jumper. I made a jumper. I missed one, which is fine. I got a couple of rebounds because, you know, in my advanced age, I'm a bit heftier than a high school freshman. So I was able to work my magic in the paint and get a rebound or two, and it was fun. I got super sweaty. I was totally faded. I would have passed out if it was any hotter than it was, but I went out there and I did it, and I was very pleased with myself. So I'm going to chalk this one down. Summer of Fitness, # Summer of Fitness. It's your time to shine. I'm going to talk about that a bit later, naturally. That's a final segment thing, but it just popped into my head, dude. Like, I don't know if these kids thought that I was going to be like some old mark, or maybe they were just being legitimate and they just wanted somebody to play with. But they called me out. I called their bluff. I wonder also if they thought I was actually going to do it, because I cannot imagine being like a young hoop mad fool and seeing some old fool walking by, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, you want to get down?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, I'll get down." Next thing I know, he's swatting shots. It seems kind of outlandish. This reminds me of another time. Me and this dude I knew by the name of Devil T. Me and Devil T were walking around by Spring Lake. That's this like fishing pond we have here in Santa Rosa, and there's a nice walk around. It's maybe like 2 miles, and we're going around that. You know, something to do during the middle of the day in the summer. And this was back in the day. We were like JC students, not like high school students, and this one kid comes burling down the hill. He's on the skateboard. It's kind of like a long board, and they had these kind of large sort of outdoor tires, like they were meant for like being on the ground. They weren't like small rubber or whatever skateboard wheels are made out of. And he comes burling by, and he goes by my dude, and he says, "Hey, you want to give this a try?" And my dude's a skateboard dude. He's like a Mr. Skate. You know, he's been skating forever. Dude has like impeccable balance. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll do it, dude." And he jumps on the board, and he goes all the way down the hill, like super crazy style. Like he's like Chris Pontius. Wait, that's the one dude that doesn't skate in the Jackass crew. It's like, he's like, I don't know. He's like Bam Margera's skateboard mentor or something. He goes down all the way, does like a little jump over one thing. It was amazing. The kid was like, we've asked almost everybody who comes by, and not one dude has said yeah, and then we asked you, and you did it, dude, and you made it all the way. And they high-fived, and, like, for a moment, man, we were like, cool guys again. But, this basketball thing reminded me of that. I was glad they didn't ask me, because I do not know how to skate a lick. And if they would have asked me, I would have to be like, sorry, bro. And they would think I was another one of these dorks. It was cool they asked my guy, and he came through. It's always fun to see somebody come through. You know, it's fun to see somebody get challenged, and then they make it. Let's move into At the Movies. But before we go, I probably should have said the lesson. The lesson for this story was, sometimes take a shot. It's like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Who said that? Michael Jordan? Michael Scott? I don't know. Somebody wise like that. But just, sometimes these hokey axioms have a little bit of truth. Honestly, if I would have said yeah, and then went out there and completely stunk the place up like it was Paul Mokeski in his prime, and I got blocked, and I missed the shot and all that, I still would have felt good because I got a sweat on, and I knew that I did it when they asked me to do it. Hashtag Summer of Fitness. This is At the Movies. We're going to talk about the X-Men.
In a moment, At the Movies without Ebert, Siskel, or even that dude Roper, but you got icy robots, so that's something, right?
Charles, what did you see?
She's grown too powerful even for the X-Men.
Get down!
Tell everyone to stay calm but ready.
Get ready to open fire.
Tell me how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do.
There she is.
X-Men Dark Phoenix. Rated PG-13. Tickets on sale now.
When 2.0 was born many moons ago, I, as a young father, was, of course, taxed with spending time with her and finding things for us to do. And one of the things we would do a lot is we would go to the movies. This is when I'm talking, she was like a baby and stuff. We started going when she was a baby, and we kept going all the way up until the current day. And for the record, the first of all the movies I ever took her to was a movie known as X-Men 2. Way back in I think it was 2003. It was many, many moons ago. Her and I were sitting at the house, and it was kind of boring. We were kind of bored, couldn't think of anything to do, and I said, "Hey, let's hop the bus and go downtown." The movie theater is directly next to the bus station. Let's hop the bus, go downtown, and take in a movie. I know it is verboten to take babies to the movie, but she has always been a quiet baby. When she was a baby, she was just so quiet. She hardly ever cried, and she was just generally well behaved, so I thought that she could handle a trip to the movie, and it turned out great. She sat there in the seat next to me for maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then she just fell asleep. And also, coincidentally, one of the things I recall was me and one other person in the theater. We went early in the day. That's always been our gimmick. We go early, less people to disturb. But this started us on a lifetime journey of X-Men movies. It's seriously been it's been our whole life. And 12, 13 movies, and the latest of all the X-Men movies, X-Men Dark Phoenix, is supposedly the last in the saga of the X-Men. Sure, there's New Mutants. New Mutants is floating out there somewhere, and it may or may not come out. I think that it will. I think a lot of money's been spent into making it. It will eventually come out. But as far as the X-Men saga of Professor X and Wolverine and Cyclops and all these guys, this is it. This is the end. I feel like you're saying, hey, Dark Phoenix, we've seen that before. And yes, we indeed have seen the Dark Phoenix before, but they decided to go ahead and give it another shot. The whole timeline for these things it's so incredibly screwy. I could not tell you how any of this makes sense as far as this movie and that movie. Maybe the stuff with the Dark Phoenix and Famke Janssen and Hugh Jackman, maybe that stuff never happened. I don't know. It makes no sense to me, but I just, I sit back, I watch it, I do my best to enjoy it. Obviously, I like superhero movies. Not as much as some people do, but I do see all the superhero movies that come out. And I I do have to admit, I have a preference for the X-Men tone, the tone of the Fox movies rather than the mainstream Marvel studio movies. I don't know. They tend to skew darker. Sure, Marvel does do dark, and they do all sorts of different stuff, and they are definitely fun movies, but I kind of like the darker, more somber, serious tone of the X-Men movies. And that's not to say that they get it right every time, because honestly, they get it wrong as many times as they get it right, but they do have some definite highlights in there. The aforementioned X2 is absolutely dynamite. X1 is fun, and I like X3. I think Ellen Page as Kitty Pryde is fantastic. You've heard me say that before. And then you have like Days of Future Past. That movie is a masterpiece. Logan is a masterpiece. And also, I don't know, X-Men First Class is not that bad. I do think that the Wolverine movies, the Wolverine Origin and all that stuff, I don't know, not the best that there's ever been. But overall, I do like the X-Men franchise. You could even make the argument that Deadpool is part of the X-Men franchise. He's got a definite connection with X-Force and everything, and him being friends with Colossus. So I guess if you add that in, overall, they do probably have more hits or as many hits as they do, like, critical misses. This one, though, could probably best be defined as a critical miss. I wanted to go in and like it. I've been hearing bad things about it for a while. The movie's been delayed. It's been delayed a couple times, but I don't know. I wanted to think the best, but sadly, when I left the arena, I wasn't overly enthused with X-Men Dark Phoenix. The story's a bit confusing. We know the tale of the Dark Phoenix. We've seen it before. It's a giant tale in the world of X-Men lore. Before we get like super duper deep into this, I am not an X-Men scholar by any means. The period in which I was reading probably the fewest amount of comics was kind of the heyday of the X-Men. You know, you gotta look back and you gotta remember the X-Men were the Marvel A-listers. Wolverine was like the Marvel A-list character of all the characters, and the X-Men were everything. There were probably like 25 or 30, I'm exaggerating, X-Men comics at one time for every one Avengers title. Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. These guys were all also Rands at the point, and I had a real hard time following the X-Men storylines. The Chris Claremont stuff and all that stuff was, I don't know, it was super confusing to me. I couldn't keep up, so I kind of started drifting into like oldie comics. That's when like the current stuff wasn't really doing it for me, so I was spending a lot of time in the quarter box looking at like Sergeant Rocks, Haunted Tanks, Viking Commandos, The Unknown Soldier, Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth. That's not a war comic, but it was something that I was for sure into around that time. So, I don't know. When I talk about this X-Men stuff, it's honestly all just kind of secondhand things that I heard from somebody else. But I guess the gimmick of the Dark Phoenix is there's like this thing called the Phoenix Force, and somehow when she's out in outer space, Jean Grey gets zapped by this, and it takes control of her. It makes her incredibly more powerful, but it also kind of like saps her sanity a bit. Emily, do you hear that? That's that work outside. I'm picking that up on the mic. Do you hear that? Can you shut the door?
Yeah, I can hear that too. I'll shut the door.
There, that sounds a lot better. They're always working on something down here. You know, there's a lot of stuff involved with keeping an undersea base airtight. You know what I mean? There's always a hole popping somewhere. There's always like a bolt popping out and water comes in. I don't know, man. It's really moist down here. There's like puddles of water all over the place. This is neither here nor there. The movie was not as great as I feel it could have been with the people that were involved. In the movie, you got Jennifer Lawrence. You got the kid from About a Boy who was up for Batman. You got James McAvoy, who is tremendous. Michael Fassbender is terrific. And Sophie Turner, who played Jean Grey, you might know her as Sansa Stark, the eldest of the Stark daughters on Game of Thrones. She's coming off Game of Thrones, you know? And I feel like there's a lot of positive thoughts going her way, coming off a beloved project like that. The last season wasn't what people seem to have wanted, but, no one's blaming it on her. I feel like she's definitely coming off with that Game of Thrones shine, but I don't know if it was her, or maybe it was the material given, or maybe just that, like, a lot of this was done up against a green screen. A lot of it is like her screaming, floating around in front of a green screen. So I don't know what it is, but she was, I sadly have to say, a bit unsuccessful in carrying the role of Jean Grey when she becomes the Dark Phoenix. This is a major storyline, as far as like X-Men go. Like I said a little bit ago, and then I kind of got diverted when that noise became too much. But the Dark Phoenix saga is one that I am definitely familiar with, despite not being a X-Men scholar. What other ones do I know? We're diverting back to where we were a bit ago. I know Days of Future Past. I'm familiar with that because of that great cover with Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. I know that whole deal where Storm like leaves the X-Men and she goes down in the sewers and becomes like the leader of these sewer mutants. That's when she was rocking that mohawk. That's the iconic Storm look as far as I'm concerned. When I first heard they were making the X-Men movie way back in the olden days, and they had Halle Berry connected to it. In my head, I was envisioning her looking kind of punk rock with that big mohawk, and I'm thinking how awesome that would be. And then when the movie showed up, she looked great, but she had normal hair. We did get to see Mohawk Storm in, what was it, Age of Apocalypse. Let me tell you why I remember that. During this last one, I said to the old wife, there's like two things I feel I really want to see in an X-Men movie. I told her one, that was something that I will talk about in a bit, and I told her the other one, I want to see Mohawk Storm. I want to see Storm flying around with a mohawk, looking all awesome. And she looks at me and she goes, I think she had a mohawk in Age of Apocalypse. And I was like, no, I don't think she does. I think I would definitely remember that if she does. And we looked it up on the phone, and there she was. She has a mohawk. And then I started looking at other imagery from that movie, and I started to think, I do not know if I know any of the things that I'm seeing here in Age of Apocalypse. Apocalypse looked unfamiliar to me. I think I blocked the whole thing out of my head. That one was not great either, but it could have been. It had Oscar Isaacs in it, but they put him in like a big blue outfit. It was weird. Let's take a quick commercial break. We got a sponsor connected to the movie here. It's a good one. We'll be back in a sec.
They've got Wolverine.
They've got Storm.
Even Beast.
Right where those mutants belong. In a can. New from Chef Boyardee. All your favorite X-Men in pasta shapes and excellent sauce. We got 'em.
And only you can set them free.
New X-Men pasta. It's not just a meal, it's an adventure.
Big up to the dude himself, Chef Boyardee. I still eat Chef Boyardee on the reg. I'll admit it. I like me a spaghettio with the meatballs. I love those meatballs. I love the ravioli. I love all of that stuff. I love it. I wish there were more shaped pastas today. This one is great, but it would have also been awesome to see like some Avengers ones, some Spider-Man's ones. I don't know. I did pick up a Spider-Man soup the other day. It was the Miles Morales. What is the name of that movie? Into the Spider-Verse. Had a Campbell's soup tie-in, and I picked up some Spider-Man soups. The head of the Spider-Man logo deal is the pasta shape. That was one of the most incoherent sentences I have ever said in my life. The pasta shape was that of Spider-Man's head. That's what I meant to say. Let's start looking at the movie a bit. We've talked about it. It is, of course, the last of the X-Men movies. We went over that. The movie clocks in just over like 2 hours. It is a bit long. There's a lot of stars in this. We talked about that already. We know it's got Jennifer Lawrence. We know it's got Sophie Turner. We know that it's got James McAvoy. We know. There's just a lot of people in here. This is a long and storied franchise. It's weird to me to think that this is going to be over. I've been having these as long as I've been having like 2.0 in my life. It seems like I can't remember a world where there wasn't a X-Men franchise. I don't even know what the story was to tell you guys beyond she gets the Dark Phoenix in her. Her powers are out of control. There's something with aliens. They have Jessica Chastain as some sort of like albino shape-shifting alien. I don't know who these were, but they show up and they're after the Phoenix Force too. And then there's just like all kinds of things going on, and it's not like it's a incoherent mess or anything like that, but it's not by any means a tight movie, sadly. But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy it. I did think that it was all right. There's like the obligatory alien fight, and there's all this stuff. But I think the quiet moments of the movie, there's not that many of them, but I think that the quiet moments in it are pretty good. And the action is what it is. You know, there's a lot of like things going on in the dark. You know, when they have all these things in the dark, they're kind of hiding stuff. The flick, though, is absolutely getting savaged right now. It's at like 24 with the critics and like 60 with the peeps, which is, I don't know. I guess it's not that savage. The folks are liking it. The general random folks are liking it. But the critics, they're being pretty mean. The movie's it's not a complete disaster. But I think that when you look at some of these successes that the X-Men franchise has had, and then you see how it's kind of just gone down and down and down and down to the point where I don't even know. It's like a lot of effort was put into the movie, but you also get at the same time feel like, well, not a lot of effort was put into a lot of things, if that makes sense. I was talking to people who didn't even know that this movie was coming out, which is interesting too. These X-Men movies have always been kind of a big deal, but also being the last Fox movie, it puts the movie in like a lame duck position. Like why bother spending my hard-earned money to see something that's not really going to tie into anything in the future? Even though I would really like to see these characters that was already established in the movies over here just move directly into the Marvel universe. I know that will never happen, but I would like to see at least just one scene with Hugh Jackman somehow involved in some kind of Avengers thing. I think that would be terrific. I don't think it'll ever happen. I'm really interested in what Marvel is going to do with all these guys. I think it would be cool if they gave the Avengers the chance to chill. Like all those characters chill for a while and introduce like new X-Men characters as the entire next wave. Have like X-Men movie, New Mutants movie, make like, I don't know, Power Pack. Are they part of that? I don't think so. But you could have Deadpool. You can do all these things and just plug them in there, and you give your other stuff a rest so that eventually when you return to it, it's like new and fresh. I am interested in seeing the Marvel studio spin on these. Not as much as I am saddened to see the Fox studio spin just disappear, but it's a brave new world. It'll be interesting to see what becomes of it. I don't even know who you cast as these characters. I am so terrible at like fantasy casting. I think that it would be neat to see Tom Hardy as Wolverine, but I don't know if we'll ever see that. I heard that they're talking about Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. I don't know. He's a good actor. I could see it. How about Rob Pattinson doing a double bill of Batman and also Wolverine, showing him to be like the coolest of all time? I don't know. Are Batman and Wolverine they're kind of equivalent in a lot of ways. Like Wolverine and Jubilee were kind of like the Batman and Robin of Marvel in a lot of ways. Like the grizzled guy and the spunky youngster. I definitely see a lot of similarities there. I do feel like they're probably around like the same tier as far as stardom. At one point, Wolverine like far overshadowed Batman's stardom, at least in the comic world, and in a lot of ways he was bigger than the Bat. He never had like that Michael Keaton movie opening or whatever. But inside the comic world, you're seeing like 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 1,000 monthly Wolverine titles to every Batman and Detective Comics You know, Batman's still huge, but they were pushing Wolverine through the roof. He was all comics everything for a while. That was when I started to kind of drop out of new comics. I talked about that earlier. I remember when Wizard magazine was in full effect, and they would always have they would put 2 or 3 different covers of every issue of Wizard, which makes it hard to collect Wizard magazine nowadays. I bought so many duplicates just with different covers, but they'd have 3 covers, for example. There'd always be always the Wolverine cover. Let's finish this up. I'm just blathering on about various X-Men related stuff. The movie is, I think I already gave the tomatoes, so we don't need to do that again. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this. On the good old-fashioned Source Magazine Mike meter, with 1 being a dud and 5 being an all-time classic, I am going to go ahead and give Dark Phoenix a not-so-awesome 2.5 mics.
2.5 mics.
Please drop by supportthereport.com and consider becoming a show patron for as low as a measly $1 a month. It's the right thing to do.
You made it this far, it's time. The final segment. The Icy Robots Radio pop culture / toy news / other boring stuff informational moment.
All right, we are back for the final segment of the show. We got a lot of fun stuff to go over, but let's start with the most important thing. I want to give a big shout out to my man Charles from The Last Hometown. You can find him at Last Hometown on the tweets. Dude became a patron. Dude's a real friend of the show. If you want to follow suit, please hop over, supportthereport.com. All the details are there. Tons and tons of patron exclusive shows. And our dude, he signed up, and all that goodness is his homie messaged me, and I love it when you guys message me. Hit me up on the tweets at ICRobots, and he told me he has an episode of his own show getting ready to drop. So keep your eyes peeled. Go follow him, Last Hometown, on the tweets. Lots of fun stuff, man. Dude tweets out a lot of cool things. I like to follow your guys' exploits. Let's move along. I can hardly wait. I've been waiting. I bought a Mego the other week. I got this guy on eBay. I'd wanted to get this one since it came out, but he was like a second tier one. Once I got to the first tier, I was going to get to the second tier. This is amazing. It's an Elvis Presley Mego. He's in a white jumpsuit. He has a red scarf. Facially, he resembles Kurt Russell, the Kurt Russell Elvis, more than the Elvis Presley Elvis. But still, he's great. The card art has a picture of Elvis in concert. He's in Hawaii. He has a lei around his neck, a microphone up to his face. It's phenomenal. This is number 2,865 out of 10,000. Let's open this up. I got this on eBay from Entertainment Earth. What I did was I went there and I searched on eBay for Elvis Mego, and I went to the lowest, and I got this for $13.99 shipped. I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. Let's try to open this with as little damage to the card as possible. I don't even know why. I don't really keep the cards. I keep them for a minute, then I end up discarding them. That was a zing. He's really great. The way they're doing the bubbles now is they're formed in a way that the characters kind of pose. So it looks like our guy Elvis he's doing like he's shaking his hips, man. It's awesome. He comes with a microphone, which is neat. He has the typical Mego quality of movement. He's wearing some white loafers. These are really nice shoes, man. I dig that a lot. I hope that eventually they come out with an Elvis in a karate outfit. As we know, Elvis was a master karateka, and we shall someday see Elvis in the Mego Fighting Championship. He's training right now. I understand he's working with some of the WWE women grapplers. I've heard say that he's been training his ground game with the likes of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, as it were. You know, Elvis is a ladies' man. They don't mind helping him out. Let's see. The jumpsuit has graphics all around. Very nice on the back. There's a eagle. It has stars. I I like this guy, man. His joints are stiff too, which is good because one of the fun things about Migos is of course posing him. The scarf is neat. Is it part of his shirt or is it? It looks like it's attached to his shirt, which is nice because it's going down like down his open like the open zippered part of his jumpsuit. So it's neat that it's already like attached there, so you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to get it to look nice. It already looks nice. I have another Mego on the way too. I'm not going to spoil who that is, but it was another one that I wanted. They finally started to hit eBay at low prices, which is cool. There's another wave about to come out, so the ones from the previous wave, they dropped down a bit. But Elvis is fantastic. I like him a lot. I heard that the next wave is going to be featuring Elvis in his jailhouse rock outfit. I won't be getting that. One Elvis is enough for me, unless of course they come out with a taking care of business karate suit one. Then I'll be all over that. Or if they come out with a glow in the dark one. If they make an Elvis that glows in the dark, I'll be all over that. But I'd have to say, I'm pretty satisfied, man. Top-notch Mego quality as usual. The face, while a bit Kurt Russell, is still obviously Elvis. I like him, man. He's gonna be training for the MFC, the Mego Fighting Championship, and hopefully we'll see him soon. And while we are still on the topic of Migos, Mego secured a new license. And they revealed a new figure the other day. This came out in some sort of a trade magazine. I saw this on the Mego Ambassador group that I belong to on Facebook. The figure is that of the Mummy. So it looks like they're going to be adding that to the pre-existing monsters that they already have. They got Frankenstein, Dracula. They made a couple each. They made a couple werewolves, a flocked werewolf. They got an invisible man. There's been two of him too, I think, a normal and also a glow in the dark. I haven't picked that one up. I might do so in the future. I would definitely get the glow in the dark variant if I had the chance. The mummy will be a nice addition to this, and the license that it seems like they picked up is the award-winning film, a film that goes by the name of Rocky, the Sylvester Stallone boxing flick. I'm super excited about this. I love Rocky. I love it a lot. It's one of my favorite movies of all the times. And the figure that they showed for the movie was Rocky in the big fight at the end of the first film, where he has the red jacket. I think it's for Shamrock Meat. Is that what it is? Where Polly works? Not Polly, like Polly got a cracker, but that's where he works. And they sponsored Rocky for the fight. And he has the tights and everything, the trunks rather. I'm used to like wrestling terminology, but I have only seen a somewhat kind of blurry picture of this figure, and it looks cool. I'm definitely gonna get it. We're gonna see Rocky at some point in the future in the Mego Fighting Championship. We'll see, man. There's a few interesting matchups there, like Rocky versus Bruce Lee. I think that's an interesting one. Rocky versus Muhammad Ali, of course. Rocky versus Andre the Giant. These are all like interesting matchups from the world of sports. And then you could add in like Rocky versus Dracula. That's a good fight. We haven't seen Dracula make his debut in the MFC, but at some point he will, I think. I think we're going to see, dude. The question is, would he keep his cape on for the fight, or would it be cape off? I don't know. I would take it off, but he's a bit of a dandy, so he may wind up wearing the cape. We saw some MFC action over at icrobots.com. There was a fight between the Fonz, Arthur Fonzarelli himself of Happy Days fame versus Batman. This is the Mego Batman. This was something that I put some thought into before I put the results together. This is like the 1970s Mego Batman. It's a replica of that, but this is the basic idea of the figure. This isn't like the modern day Batman who has like murderous fighting skills. He wears black, he wears gray, he can kill you with one punch. That guy. This is the blue Batman from back in the day, not the Adam West Batman, because Figures Toy Company makes an actual like Adam West Batman, but like an Adam West-esque Batman. He's not going to be using like deadly fighting skills. He has more like karate chop to the head, judo throw, maybe like a punch to the bread basket kind of fighting style, like a double axe handle, like a Captain Kirk double axe handle, that kind of fighting. So take that into consideration when you see him in the in the MFC. He fought the Fonz, Arthur Fonzarelli, like we just said, and the matchup was over quick. Fonzie came at him, threw a blow, Batman countered, karate chop to the top of the head, instant KO. I don't see it going any other way. It might not be a karate chop to the head, it might be a punch to the face, but Arthur Fonzarelli's going down. One punch, no question. Like Guy Gardner in Justice League, he's going down. One punch Batman, knockout, and then on the undercard, Bruce Lee fought Dr. Zaius, and he defeated him with a thrust kick to the side of the face. That raises his record up to 2-1. Arthur Fonzarelli is 0-2, and Batman is now 1-0. If you wanna check these out, this is over at icrobots.com. I got pictures, man. I got pictures of the fights as they took place. I was on hand at the MFC arena acting as photographer. So icrobots.com. There's like a bar on the side. It has all the topics. Look up Mego Fighting Championship. You can see all the fun there. But it's not all fun. It's not all good. We got some bad news here in the Sonoma County area. Just on Facebook that Silver Screen Video in Petaluma, that's the last video store on that side of Sonoma County, is going down. They're going out of business. It's not a good day for video stores. Right now in Sonoma County, we're down to Joe Video. So if you're in the Santa Rosa area, please go down to Joe Video, buy some stuff, get a used DVD, get something, get an account, go buy some Fiddle Faddle. Dude's got the Fiddle Faddle at the counter. Get something, man. We can't lose the last one here in SR. Plus, it's an amazing place. It's great. Lots of nerds work there who like to talk film. It's awesome. I just found out that my man, Joe the Patron, he also goes there. So big up to Joe for supporting Joe Video. So, sadly, Silver Screen bites the dust. This store has been around for like 30 years, man. It's not one that I go to frequently because it's a couple towns over. It's like a 25, maybe 30-minute drive from where we are in Santa Rosa. The store's cool, though. It's big. It's really big. They have a pretty vast selection. It's kind of plain, to be honest. It's white with white shelves, sort of Blockbuster-esque, but they've maintained all these years. I do stop in every time I'm in Petaluma, and I try to get like a previously viewed Blu-ray or something. Last time I was over there, we went to Old Chicago Pizza in Petaluma. Delicious deep dish pizza. We got a sausage with onions and extra cheese. It was delicious. And then on the way out of town, we stopped at Silver Screen Video. I couldn't find any discs to buy, so I bought some Reese's Pieces. I think I bought like 3 boxes of Reese's Pieces. I gave one to me for the movies, and I gave the other 2 to the kid, and she did whatever kids do with candy. Eat it, I guess. And then we actually stopped into Kmart, which is another last of around here in Sonoma County. Last Kmart in Petaluma, but it's sad, man. It's sad anytime a video store goes down in the game. They're going away. There's not really going to be a lot of new ones coming out, so I with heavy heart, I gotta say, Silver Screen Video Petaluma, they reminisce over you.
Join me, movie star Johnny 5, this spring on your piece of garbage standard def hillbilly TV, as I bring justice to your holler, robot style. Johnny Court, coming everywhere, soon.
I've been hearing from some of you guys that you're having a hard time finding Johnny Court on your televisions. I myself am having those problems too, but I've heard some good things. It's gotten some good reviews from folks who said they like the idea that the show isn't just a court show. He also he has this bounty hunting element. Like he goes out and he finds the dudes, then he brings them back, and then he tries them. Some people like that. I don't know how much I go for one guy being the judge, the jury, the cop, and also the executioner. I don't know. I think that was out of order, but I would just say, if you can't find Johnny Court, keep looking out. There's some talk that it might get picked up locally here in the Bay Area on KTVU Channel 2. I was at the flea market the other week. That's not news. That's just a fact. I go to the flea market just about every week. I think we're getting ready for a trip to the Vallejo flea market, which is like a whole different thing, and that's going to be fun. But I was there in Sebastopol the other day. There's a few weeks over the summer that they canceled the flea market at the Vets building. I couldn't think of the word the Vets building. For some reason it was escaping me. Probably because I'm reading a note card and I'm talking to you guys all at the same time. But they cancel it a couple times this summer. Once for this, it's like a car part sale. Like people bring out their vintage cars and they sell carburetors or whatever. It looks like fun. I can imagine if you're into that scene that this is a good deal. Then they have some kind of like a biker rally there as well. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I've never attended, but they do like a fun run, I think is what it is. And they have like a concert. I don't know. It's cool, man. Whatever you're into, just happy having fun. But that week we didn't go there. We instead went to the Sebastopol flea market, which is cool. I dig this one a lot. They have a lot of good foods there. We ended up getting tacos while we were at the flea market. But all I could find was I got some Blu-rays. I got Gravity. I got King Arthur, the extended edition. This is the one with Clive Owen. And then I got La La Land, which the wife wanted. Not to say that I didn't want it, because it's a delightful film. I think it was number 2 in my top 5 the year it came out. I think so. I think that was the year that Sing Street was the best movie. I can't recall all off the top of my head, but if you haven't seen Sing Street, that's great. I didn't find it on Blu-ray, but I did find La La Land, Gravity, Son of Batman, a DC animated one. I got all of them for $5. 4 for $5. I was pretty pleased on that. Gravity is great. The Sandra Bullock movie with her and George Clooney. That one's delightful. And on Blu-ray, it looks amazing. I love it. I haven't seen The Son of Batman yet. I'm saving that for a day when I got nothing to do. I can sit back and learn about Damian Wayne. I haven't put in La La Land yet either, but I know I will. I did watch I watched King Arthur for a bit. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's it's cool enough. It has Joel Edgerton with long hair, and that's kind of fun. Next topic, the summer of fitness. Hit it. It's the summer of fitness, your time to shine. Let's go outside and exercise. We will walk and we will ride a bike. It's the summer of fitness. All right, the summer of fitness is in full effect. This is a program we're starting where we're going to try to go out there and we're going to go for some non-weight loss goals. We're going to try to get the heart going. We're going to try to get the legs pumping, doing what we can to improve our overall cardiovascular fitness. I think that's an important goal. We're worried about just going out, improving your fitness. A fitter body is a fitter mind. It's good for you overall. So far this week in the summer of fitness, I took the dog out for a really long walk and I rode my bike twice. It's been insanely hot here. It's been 100 degrees and I went out once and I almost fainted. It was terrible, but I got some distance in. I got a few hills. I was proud of myself, and then I went out again with the wife. We went around, I don't know, maybe for a half hour, 45 minutes. That's all it takes, dude. Just go ride your bike for half an hour. Ride 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back. It's great. I enjoy that a lot. I like zipping around on the bike. You get to see things you don't normally see. You go through streets you don't normally go to. I just try to keep moving. I'll just go up one block, down one block, up one block, down one block. Just keep going for as long as I can. I implore you guys. It's the summer of fitness, your time to shine. You should go out and get some exercise. I also want you to reach out to me. I want you to reach out to me so I can give you some words of encouragement. My man Charles, the patron, he sent me a hashtag summer of fitness. He told me he went for an hour-long walk. And he's going to take the kids out for one later. I'm so proud of you, man. It's always hard to get started, but once you're started, it's easy to keep going. So keep going on that summer of fitness, dude. Listen to the Toys R Us Report, go take a walk. Listen to the Patron only show, go take a walk. Listen to some of those Icy Robots radio mixtapes I got on the Patron thing. Those will get your leg pumping. I'm proud of him. My man Javier the Patron, he reached out to me and he told me that he's been going up the stairs instead of going up the elevator. I think that's great, dude. It takes changing the day-to-day routines of your life to get those summer of fitness goals. So, add a little exercise to anything you do and you'll feel good about it. I got somebody, another dude, this guy goes by the name of Mike. I wonder if it's Stuntman Mike. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like if it was Stuntman Mike, he'd say Stuntman Mike. But Stuntman Mike Go do some summer of fitness. I'm into it. I believe it's good for you overall. But this guy Mike, he said that he went for a walk before he went to work. He got up and went out for an hour. I'm proud of you too. You and Charles, you and Javier. You guys you're all doing great, man. I'm super, super stoked about all of this. You guys want to get down with this? You want to get down with the summer of fitness? It's time to shine. Just go out there, get some exercise, ride a bike, walk your dog, go around the block, go walk to the park, feed the ducks. Just do anything to get yourself moving. We want to see an improvement in your overall cardiovascular health. And I'll tell you this, the more you exercise, the better you feel mentally. This is something that I find to be very true. When I go out for a strenuous bike ride, when I come back after I'm done sweating and moaning, I feel very just clear-headed. I feel really creative. I just feel open. I think there is a definite connection between physical health and mental health. So just do what you can, man. Do what you can. Another way you can participate is by avoiding unhealthy treats. I know everybody likes to bring donuts to work. Everybody likes to bring cookies to work. It's always somebody's birthday. There's always a cake. What you do is, you see the donut, just don't take it. You get the cake, you got to take the cake, you got to be polite, maybe take a bite, but then later, throw it away. Every time you pass on an unhealthy snack, it's a victory. It's a win. It's a win for you. You should feel happy about that. Here's another thing. It's summer. It's hot, and we all love a nice ice cream when it's hot. And we deserve that. We do. We definitely deserve that. It's our right as citizens of the planet Earth to get a chomp on some ice cream. But here's something that I've been doing when I go and I get myself some ice cream. Instead of getting what I would do before is I'd go to Baskin-Robbins and I'd get a cup. I get my 1 scoop in a cup. Maybe I get 2 scoops, put them in a cup, take them home and eat them later. What I do now, I just get a cone. I get 1 scoop on the cone and I eat it right there in the Baskin-Robbins parking lot over by the Safeway. I find that what this does is it controls the portion more in the sense that I can only eat as much as I can hold in my hand. I can only eat as much as that cone can balance, as opposed to the amount of stuff that you can put in the cup. Plus, the cup has a plastic lid. It's wasteful. Don't do it. Just get a cone. You eat the whole thing. It's gone. Totally recyclable. You'll feel good about it. So, Summer of Fitness, your time to shine. Hit me up, #Summer of Fitness, and we'll do some business, man. We'll do some work. We'll all improve. It's going to be great.
Hey, A.B Silver is on the phone. He says it's important.
Yeah? He's on the phone right now? Do we have time for a call?
Yeah, you can take it if you want.
What do you think he wants?
I really don't know what he wants, but he actually said please, which was weird.
Okay, put him through.
Okay, I'll patch him in. He's on.
Hello. I see robots.
A.B Silver, it's always nice to have you on the show. What can we do for you today?
I heard about your legal issues and I have a proposition for you.
Yeah, that's really turning into something. How'd you hear about that? Oh, I guess you heard it. You heard it on the show.
Why don't you take the case of you versus Toys R Us Scotland to Johnny Court? I think that could be fun, don't you?
I don't know. I have to work. I'm gonna be down here for the next week or so straight.
Oh, that's not a problem. We could use Skype or something. I just think it would be nice to have you on. You always help us out, so I would like to do the same for you. What do you say?
Okay. All right, I guess so. Why don't we do that? Let's take the case to Johnny Court.
Magnificent. I will send you the details and we can work out a time to record. I am really looking forward to this. Okay, bye. Talk soon.
Huh. That should be fun. I've never been on TV in that capacity before. One time I got interviewed on TV 50 News when I was a lot younger, but that's nothing like, being on Johnny Court. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that, but I don't know. It's weird too at the same time, right? He seemed really nice there. I've never seen A.B so polite. I wonder what's up with that. Maybe he's just turned over a new leaf. I don't know. Let's think the best. So we'll be back next week. It's episode number 200. It's a big one. Let's call it The Trial of Icy Robots. See you guys soon. If you don't know, now you know.
This has been an IC Robots Radio production. IC Robots Radio is a listener-supported endeavor. If you like what we do and we make your day a little easier, please consider tossing a few bucks our way to help keep the life support running. All money collected goes to help us prepare for future space pirate attacks. Go on over to supportthereport.com for all the details. Thanks and have a great week.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
Portions of our broadcast day may be presented either in whole or in part by means of videotape or film reproduction. This is KTXL TV 40, signing off the air, ending another schedule of broadcasting. KTXL, Sacramento, Stockton, California.
Magnificent.